I'm Ethan Jurgeneit, and I'm captain for the Trinity Western men's rugby team, and I'm Mohawk First Nation. So originally I started playing rugby in Hawaii when I was 6 years old, and then my family moved over to New Zealand when I was around 7 or 8. That's when rugby kind of finally took off for me. It was a contact rather than touch. So I can vividly remember the first time when rugby really took off for me was when I hit this huge Pacific Islander kid, smoked him, and all the guys that were on my team were like, "No way, you got smoked by a Canadian player. That's crazy." So that's when rugby really took off for me, and ever since then I've just fallen in love with the game. Ever since I was 3, I've been on mission with my family all over the world, Kona, Hawaii, Tonga, Fiji, Samoa. A lot of my childhood was raised up in the South Pacific culture, so I was easily connected being Indigenous with other Indigenous people. Easy for me to connect with them and just be able to hang out and relate with them. I think for me, that connection piece I could relate to, like playing lacrosse and being able to play that sport. It was easier for me to play rugby because it meant so much to that culture and those people. So for me, I took it on as a sign of respect and honor every time I step onto that field, to be able to play the game that a lot of Pacific Islanders love, and to be able to represent it at the highest ability that I can. Being Mohawk, is a thing where I get to live it out daily. Having this haircut, that's the reason I have it. Is because I'm First Nation Mohawk, and to remind myself who I am at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, and to show other people, my culture's still here, I'm still here. When I went to the residential school, I was immediately impacted just because they were digging up mass graves, and that immediately touched my heart, and I was, taken back by it and been like thinking through my own experiences and what if I was one of those children that was in that time and taken away from my family, and I didn't survive and wasn't able to accomplish the things that I can been able to do now. I always saw it as another tactic from the enemy of trying to twist things, and he's done it throughout history of the biggest things of the enemy is steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he wants to do. And for me, I saw it as he wants to steal the First Nations people, kill, and destroy them. And I didn't think it is, that's not God's heart. That's not who God is. And people who often say like, it was Christians and Catholics who did it. But God's name has been taken out through history and used for many different things, and I don't believe God's heart is in that, and I know God's heart isn't in that, and I just think it was another tactic from the enemy to be used to destroy my culture and twist it so that they don't have a relationship with God, and to bring them further away from God rather towards Him. Even more so, God reminded me of forgiveness. And that's one of the biggest things for me is forgiving people rather than holding them against their will and judgment is just going to bring me down. It's impacted my life in how I play rugby, who I am as a person, living out each day because it's a blessing to be here. And other people weren't given that same ability as I was. People were taken from their families, plopped on a reserve or a place that they'd never been to. For me, it's a huge impact on my life of remembering, where I've come from and who my people are, and each day being able to represent them.